See, we already got some Area 52 fans in here. Fetty, I've heard of your magnificent work on that livery. Looking good, buddy. Great work on that. Pretty sharp on track, and what better car to have it on than number one out there. Just another quick audio check here. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. It's been a while since I've streamed, so want to make sure everything's coming through clearly for you guys. Trying to live up to the spectacular expectations and standards that are being upheld by Mr. Reed Aldred and Jason Alvarez, our GT3 streamer, both of whom do a fantastic job. Always appreciated. A little over 7 minutes. You know, it's interesting about Kyalami in that we have had our qualifying race in quali time set here at Kyalami. So it's to be expected that most of our drivers, if not all, have a little bit of experience at the start of the season, along with our first episode of Education with Kerstetter being here at Kyalami. Great series supported by Ed Kerstetter, in which we spent some time practically every Tuesday going through the upcoming GT4 track to try and help some of, you know, drivers of all skill levels in some of the details to learn some of the speed that Ed has and Danny has, as well as Mr. Carbon, aka Danny Basin, resident aliens, Danny and Ed, come through and spend their time, graciously give us their time and volunteer their time to help educate the rest of the drivers in some of the tricks of the trade, some of the details of the tracks, and that is available on our YouTube channel, Trackalicious. Oh, I should say youtube.com/c/Trackalicious. So all of our detailed track walks are available there for those that haven't seen it and want to get an insight on some of the tracks that we've gone through already. So really good information. Great to watch before the race just to get acquainted with some of the details of braking points and some of the tricky corners that are in most of the tracks. How's everybody in chat doing tonight? You guys enjoy the race at 949? It's crazy. Wet race at Misano. I love Misano. It's such a great sweeping track, and even more so, love the 949 community. What an awesome group of guys and gals. We love them dearly here at Trackalicious. They've been extremely welcoming to our community, and hope they feel the same way. So we're watching Jarek Snyder here get his practice laps in. Jarek, a teammate of mine, actually, as I'm stepping aside this race to cover our stream, had quite the leap this season compared to last. Was, I would say, somewhere in the teens, consistent teens performer last season, and has really stepped up his game over the off season. Not sure what the trick's been, but definitely more familiar with the sim now, and has been doing quite well. Placed second in one of the Bathurst races, coming off a 24-hour or 12-hour Bathurst endurance. So phenomenal performance. I think his best of the season so far in both GT3, GT4, getting that second place. So congratulations to him. Really good, strong performance from Jarek, and excited to see what the rest of the season holds for him. As we go through and have 3 minutes left in our practice server. Looking over at Mr. Ali Raza, aka AG/LEG. So Ali has found some pace through the season. I think he was starting off at the third, fourth, fifth positions, consistently qualifying in that realm. Has really taken it up just the slightest notch that he needed to get into the second place, third place qualifying position, and does quite well in the races as well. So excited to see him bring the Nutella team into contention with the Area 52 guys. Has been providing some epic battles in the races, going 3 wide into the cutting along with Ed and Danny, I believe, or it was Ed and Coasty in our race last week. And if you haven't seen it, very much so available as a VOD on our YouTube channel. Yeah, just an insane race. Great wheel-to-wheel action, and hoping to see some more of that today in our triple header format, which is gonna be 3 15-minute races back to back with qualifyings in between. It's gonna provide some pretty spicy racing. Unfortunately, not a lot of room for error given the short race, but definitely allows for a big mistake to be corrected in the following races. So gives people chances, 3 chances at that through the day. Something different we're trying this season. And at the end of the season, we'll see how all of the drivers liked it and whether we want to go back to that format. But it's definitely provided for some really great wheel-to-wheel racing all around, all the way down the field. Looking at Dave Ward here, who is relatively new to ACC and has been improving through the season, through last season, and showing some improved pace and some capability to battle with the guys around him. So credit to him and all the folk around him that have been really working the wheel in the second tier of racing in our Div 2 class, which has been an extreme, being in Div 2 myself, extremely competitive amongst drivers. So it's been very exciting to see how these guys have been performing through the season. And with about 15 seconds left, let's go and see who's gonna get it started. I think some of the Area 52 guys are gonna probably place themselves up front, but see how it goes. Just going into the wait time. let's take a quick pause here and come right back to it. If you're just joining us, welcome to Trackler Sim Racing. This is Eric Ocasian on the mic today, taking over from Reed Aldred. We have an exciting triple header format on tonight as we get ready to watch our Div 2 drivers go out and set some times. We are at Kyalami this week, returning from our quali race here at the start of the season. So again, some familiarity for the drivers at this track, relatively fresh in the mind, and let's see how they're able to perform. And excited to see both the action in the Div 2 and Div 1, as it's been extremely competitive through the season. And seeing some of our Div 2 drivers outperform our Div 1 guys, whether it's through chance or some incidents on track, and some based on skill. So excited to see improvement in performance through the season. Hope everyone's doing okay tonight. And looking forward to this quali and the 3 races that we have coming up. Go on to Mr. Engelman here, who's been wrangling that Maserati and showing incredible pace in it. I'm sure making Mr. Cardo Huesca proud. The Maserati specialist. Let's see if we can go on board and hear that loveliness as he gets ready to settle at. Going a bit wide there, but Jeremy has been doing a fantastic job in the Maserati, really finding his way in here, and I think it's benefited him through all of our leagues as he's been using the skills that he's been learning off the Roddy here and transferring it over to our GT3 and our endurance leagues. Doing a phenomenal job in both those series. Yeah, just learning the fine details in ACC as you would not having traction control in ABS. Yeah, topping the charts. We've seen him practicing through the last couple of days, just showing some phenomenal speed in that thing. So let's hop on board with Mr. Pickerel here. Pickerel, always a contender in Div 2. He probably has the pace to be in Div 1 as well. Quite the quick guy, but has been focusing on our iRacing series recently. So been a part of multiple iRacing races and endurances with some of our Trackalicious folk. And actually was amongst the team that won the Bathurst 12-hour special event. So congratulations to those guys. Great performance. Just stuck it out, made sure that they had minimal errors, and came out on top after 12 hours of Bathurst in iRacing. So phenomenal performance by the guys. So P1 and P5 as he makes a little error there and goes into the pits as we get ready for our Div 1 guys to start going around. So I have a bunch of the folk out there. Let's hop onto Mr. Baston's car, as we always expect him to be relatively quick starting the lap here. Not missing the apex going into Crowthorne. Oh, I think he's just on his out lap warming his tires up here. So how are we looking in Div 2? Let's put this up here real quick. So it looks like we have Jeremy Engelman as top spot for Div 2, followed by Pickerel. Bravo, great performance by him. Iglesias, great performance. A new driver for Trackalicious, so good to see him up there. Cody Wassam in 5th, Beachley in 6th, Ward 7th, Masters 8th, driving the Maserati along with Mr. Engelman. Orozco doing quite well there in 9th position. Vercosa 10th, Alvarez 11th. Good job, Jason. That's a good spot. Denny P in 12th, Smith in 13th, and then rounds off our Div 2 drivers as our Div 1 guys get warmed up and ready to go. Danny rounding out the final couple of corners. Let's go in and follow him in car and see how he does. Take a really wide entry into turn 1. Not the racing line, but one that you would take to really get that little bit extra. Going into barbecue, really difficult corner to find that apex as it's generally pretty blind on the screen. Far left, carrying some great speed into Sunset. Again, as you would expect, a little bit wide on the apex there. To Clubhouse Bend. Good speed, almost invalidating, taking it quite wide, but manages to keep it in. Into the S's. Going up to the hairpin at Leo Cup. Keeping it tight on entry. Looks like a bit of a double apex, but maybe a little bit wide, but I'm not sure. That might have been intentional. Keeps it flat through mine shaft, coming up on Cheetah. Or the Crocodiles, I'm sorry. Just dancing with the wheel there as he powers out into Cheetah. Throws it in, misses the curb, as you would want. Into Ingwe. Powering onto the straight, and let's see what that gets him. Is that enough for a pole position? It is for now. 150.995, beating out Munir by just a tenth and a half. So it looks like Riley's up. Let's keep on. Up a tenth at the part of the lap, starting half of the lap. So his potential to take that pole position. Let's see if he's able to maintain that. Was that an invalidation? I don't think so. 3/10. Riley finds 3/10. Pushes him right up to first position. So he's got pole position for now. And Ed's got a tenth and a half to catch up. So let's see. Sorry, I should say Danny has a tenth and a half. Ed working on it. He's got a bit of ways to go. But let's go back to... who's on track yet? Let's go to Ed. Let's see what Ed's got. Oh, thanks, Rocket. Appreciate it. If I'm not mistaken, that's probably Tanner. You're a legend, Tanner. Thank you so much for this for the sub. Ed really fighting the car here, trying to maximize everything that he can as he goes into Ingwe, throttling out. Is that... Ooh. That is millimeters of precision, as you would expect from Ed, but only good enough for third position. Riley getting that pole position, beating out Bazin and Kerstetter for the first time in a couple of weeks at least. So good job, Riley. I think he might have gotten pole in one of the races. So excellent performance by the guys out there. So going into our Div 1 performance, let's bring this up here. Let's go. Let's see how everybody did. So we got Riley Munir in pole position, followed by Danny Baisden. Third place is Ed Kerstetter, followed by Ali Raza. Joseph Kosovic from 949, our good friends at 949, coming in fifth place. With Diego Mastachero outperforming his brother, Andres. That's a great job, Diego. Awesome to see. I don't think I've ever seen Diego outperform Andres, so very cool to see that. Congratulations to you, as the brothers will be fighting it out in that position, followed by Jeremy Engelman topping the charts in Div 2, outperforming Professor Kurnotis in 9th place, Jason Provolone in 10th, Jarek Snyder in 11th, Pickrell in 12th, Bravo in 13th, Morrison in 14th, Iglesias in 15th, Wassam 16th, M. Tansky in 17th. Milosh has got a little bit more pace than that, so I expect him to be coming through the field as we go through the races here. Beachley in 18th, Ward 19th, Masters in 20th, Orozco 21st. Great job by him. Vercosa 22nd, Alvarez 23rd, Danny P 24th, Smith 25th, and Reggie in 26th position, rounding off our grid. Reggie also has got some pace. I know it, but he might be dealing with some technical issues. Oh, I should have displayed the grid here. So I know Reggie has been dealing with some technical issues, but hopefully it won't be for too long. Really learning some of the some braking detail, but I'm sure he'll get it figured out really soon. So let's fly through the grid here as we have a little over a minute left to wait here as we get the grid started. So the Beam G livery here in the BMW Area 52 and 2 and 3. The Nutella Motorsports. Love this livery. Very few ways to make brown look good on a car, and I think these guys did a great job in doing so. And performing quite well as a team as well. 949, our friends, good friends at 949. Repping Cardo Racing School, our partner here. And if you're looking for coaching and to try and find and break through that wall that you've been experiencing, definitely recommend doing some coaching sessions. Cardo Racing School, !coach. Cardo's a great guy, excellent pace at that. As we look through the Naps livery, fantastic. Look at that, representing the Peruvians that are on the Naps team, both Andres and Diego. Our Peruvian representation. What a fantastic livery by V. Good job, V. Looking really sharp on field as we get going here. And the Maserati livery by Tanner Masters. Let's try to see if we can follow them up here. Then we've got the Morrison Motorsports. Morrison Motorsports Aston there. A little bit more of the Nutella. And the ice cream, I forget what the team's called, but the ice cream truck livery here by Mike Burkhoff, looking quite sharp. The Tacos Locos BMW by Jose Bravo, and actually I'm pretty sure Santiago Orozco designed that, so great job, Santiago. The safety car Audi with Cody Wassam showing some of his pace here. Oh, let's not fly into him. I should probably turn this off. More Tacos Locos. Let's try to fall back here. Oh, and the new livery looking very sharp with the purple and black. Seems to be quite a cool. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go through here. As everybody gets ready, let's go through here and see what we got. Ward, Denny P. and Smith with the really cool pastel colors here. Stands out in the crowd. Awesome livery that they've got going on. The Slow Car Club. Sorry, I tripped over it. But yeah. HMS Racing. So let's get ready here. Pop into the lead here and get our broadcasting view up. Going into Helicam as Riley does an excellent job of placing his car on pole, unless if he's gonna be able to defend his position to both Basin and Kerstetter. Unfortunately, he's got a bit of a gap to his own teammate. So the Area 52 guys in quite the spot to try and bully Riley out of position. But they're not gonna have that easy a time, considering that they have Ali Raza and the very fast Joseph Kosovic right behind them, pressuring them on the other side. So as we get ready, yeah, Sword and Keyboard, really, really cool. One of the things we're proud of at Trackalicious is we have a lot of passionate designers. And if you pop into our liveries channel, we have amazing liveries, both this season and historically. And these guys do a phenomenal job as we get ready, not only to be fast, but also look good in the race. So getting ready here, should be going green. And we got green, green, green. Let's go. Riley Muneer getting a pretty decent start on the inside. Ed getting a great run over Ali Raza and making up some distance to Basin. Basin going on the outside, gets positioned, but Riley does have a better exit. Basin going wide. Ed coming in, slotting in still in third place, so maintaining gap, but Ed pressuring Danny for that second place. These guys don't have team orders, so Ed does make his way into second position. as he sets himself to start challenging Riley, but Riley puts a little bit of gap between himself and the guys behind him. Doesn't look like we have too many craziness going on in the back. Relatively clear behind, very few incidents. So these guys looking pretty good over here. Let's see. We got Ali really pressuring Bayes in here as he was forced into third position by his teammate. Deep braking for Ali, really finding that spot. Great overtake as Ed comes in. Sorry, as Joseph Kosovich comes in and try to make up some of that gap. Let's go into our TV cam mode. Ali maintaining that position as the Naps guys, Diego and Andres pressuring Kosovich in the back there as Danny tries to fight back for that third position. Ali really taking advantage of that opportune moment and doing a great job. We've seen some difficulty of Ali making up positions, but we've seen the pace from him, and good to see that he's able to get his position in strong and make a great clean move. And we're seeing a little bit of action behind as Diego finds that inside line, but Mr. Kosovich being able to maintain that fifth position, but I don't think he's in the clear just yet. Engelman back here pressuring Carnotis. Oh, Sword and Keyboard. Which one of your friends races here? That's awesome. Great to hear. So Chrono putting pressure on Snyder, Engelman putting pressure on Chrono. Really great racing over here. Let's go in, see what he's got here. Oh, yeah. Keeping it tight still. We got a couple of battles up and down the field. See Chrono going a little bit narrow as Engelman really nursing the aidless Maserati without traction control or ABS. Really doing a great job keeping up with these guys up front. Being in the Div 1 class. Really punching above his weight class here, Jeremy is. So great job with the Maserati. Let's hop back into Baisden here. I think he's doing a lot of work here, pressuring Ali Raza. Putting a lot of pressure on that Aston. Going a little wide as clearly we give him the commentator's curse. Yeah, that's right, Sword. Really phenomenal job. Jeremy Engelman has really come into his own this season. I don't know whether it was the Maserati or him or a combination of both, but his performance in that Maserati has been inspiring, to be honest. Kind of jealous of his talent, not newly found talent, but improved talent through this season. Really great work in that Maserati, along with his teammate Tanner Masters. Let's go back and see what's going on back here as Reggie King puts some pressure onto Cody Wassam. As we mentioned earlier, Reggie going through some development of his equipment, but has always had pace, and extremely fair and great racer. Both Reggie and Cody here do a phenomenal job in our leagues. Cody putting a little bit of gap to Reggie. So we see the beautiful Alpine of Verkosa, a new joiner of the season. Looking great in that Alpine. going for an alternative car. So Cody doing a good job of keeping Reggie behind. Let's try to see if we have anyone else going. So Provolone on Tansky, staying quite close. Good group battle here. So Tansky on Bravo, Provolone on Tansky. Tansky usually places himself a little bit farther up. I'm sure it must have had a little bit of lack of practice. Going a little wide there, I think, allowing Provolone to gain a little bit of time. Yeah, that's right, Sword. Really does teach you how to race. I'll say in the 1 or 2 times that I tried it, I don't know whether it was an equipment limitation. Oh, we have a car turn backwards. Is that Ali Raza? Oh, that's so unfortunate. Unfortunately, we missed that. That must have been an incident between Ali Raza and Danny Bazin as he was pressuring him, but unfortunately, excuse me, seems to have come off in an incident of some sort behind his teammate. Hopefully, we see Ali making it back up the field. Let's go and see how Danny's doing here. Danny seems to have lost some time and position as well, so they must have come into each other. It's been a great battle. These two are generally pretty fair drivers, so I don't expect any malintent there. But as you get sometimes in racing, they do get wheel to wheel, and they get, you know, it's racing. Things happen sometimes, so we'll have to go back and look at the replay and see what happened. But I expect Danny and Ali both to make their way back up the field as they show really good pace. As we look ahead, the Masachero still applying pressure to Kosti here, a.k.a. Joseph Kostovich from 949. Really, really great racing. Looks like they're staying patient for now. Andres seems to have gotten ahead of his brother Diego. Usually the faster driver, but very impressive to have seen Diego out-qualify his brother. Looking for more of that, Diego. Congratulations and good job on that performance. And doing really well to keep up here, pressuring Kostovich to see if he makes an error or not. But Kosti, really strong driver, very consistent, great pace. I think it's a matter of seeing whether the Mercedes has got it here or not. If you hadn't watched last week, Kosti winning both Bathurst races last week. Some saying that the Mercedes is quite well performing in Bathurst, and I think we can all accept that, but that doesn't just come free. Kosti also put on a great performance as we see Masachero trying to get a wide line and get a better exit out of the hairpin here at Liukop. I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly to all of our South African friends here, but I try to do my best. I'm open for corrections. Yes, sir. I've never driven the Alpine. As Andres takes the outside line, really making it stick. Going outside again as too wide into Cheeto. That's brave. These guys are extremely brave. Getting the inside line, going into the front straight as Kosti goes wide, but he does have that Mercedes straight line speed. So let's see who comes out on top. This is a great wheel-to-wheel racing by these guys. Looks like they're being quite fair. The Mercedes does have some speed, but looks like Andres does keep that inside line and comes ahead, going up into Barbecue. And not only does Andres make it through, but also finds the gap for Diego to stay ahead. As we see Danny creeping in the back there, makes it through Kosti. I assume there was a little bit of in-chat discussion there for Danny to make it through, as he does generally have a better pace than the guys. As Danny takes that inside line to Diego, making up places quite quickly. Danny not wasting any time there. Not at all. Great performance by Danny there. So Ed over here is caught up to to Riley within a half a second. So I know Riley's going to put a heck of a battle to try and keep Ed behind him, and with great skill at that. These guys have always been going wheel to wheel, very similar pace, great drivers, great performance. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this one plays out. Yeah, absolutely. So we're the Vivacious, who popped in here at Trackalicious and is a part of the Steez Nation server, and friends with the Naps team, had developed that livery for the Naps guys, and what a phenomenal, excellent artistic talent from Vivacious, looking great. Much a huge improvement from their last season, playing red and white car. So very happy to see that come through. All right, let's pop back in here. Let's look at some of the Div 2 guys. Ooh, we got Beachley on Orozco on Masters, within 0.3 of each other, maybe even less. So Beachley has shown some great improvement over the last season, coming in pretty close to Orozco, and Orozco pressuring Masters, trying to see if he can force him into an error. Beachley going wide, losing some time, so let's stick with Orozco and Masters. I'm not sure if there's been much foul play, but we're looking at a little bit of damage in the front of Orozco's car. Hopefully it wasn't anything too bad, but some scratches behind Masters. So Orozco seems like he's found some pace, or Masters having some difficulty with that Maserati, as is extremely reasonable, as it is a very difficult car to drive, and really some of the best to master it, like our resident coach and partner, Cardo Huesca, who's supposed to be a legend in the Maserati. Orozco putting some real pressure there. We do see a close battle up front. So, he's going a little wide. I think he's gonna. There's a bit of gap there. So let's hop up front here and let's see what's going on with Kerstetter and Meneer. Oh, they're so close. Looks like they've got 2 laps to go. Getting a good run here, really in the toe. Let's see if the BMW power can keep Riley ahead. BMW does have really great top end. Having a look on the inside. Is he there? Not quite, but makes the great late braking. Ooh, Riley. Oh, and there's contact. Unfortunately for Ed, that was... Oh, is that a bit of a send? Wasn't quite there, but... The BMW with the heavier, bigger car winning out there, unfortunately for Ed. Riley does come out on top, gives him a little bit of the gap that I expect that he'll be able to maintain, assuming he doesn't make any mistakes going through. But Riley wins out on that battle. Great attempt by Ed. Let's see what happens here. Coast, you're really on the tail of Diego Masachero, as Danny's made his way through back up into third. Ali Raza a little bit farther down, makes his way through Iglesias, or they're going side by side. Iglesias has the inside. Ooh, that's tight. Great line. Let's see if he's able to maintain the position, as I think he has the inside line here. Yep, he's able to take that quite well. Ooh, Iglesias coming back at him, the over-under. But nope, Ali's, I think, relatively firmly sealed that position. Let's go back and see what's going on here. Oh, we got a couple of guys in the pits, unfortunately. Danny Pete. Trying to see if he can keep up the provolone here. Yeah, let's hop into 747. Wow, 12th position. Reggie pressuring him. Let's watch this battle. Really close. Let's go in car. Ooh. Yeah, not bad exit. That's a great run, as I'm sure Even though it's a 15-minute race, I'm sure Engelman's going to be suffering with his tires just a little bit. We'll come back to this in just a minute. Let's see if he's going to make the move here. He has a look. I was expecting him to brake a little bit earlier being in the Maserati as he has ABS to help him out. Great move by Mr. King, but Jeremy comes back at him. And he's able to maintain the position. Jeremy's been showing some great defensive driving. Good job. What a great battle between these two guys. Let's hop up top. Let's see what's going on here as the Mostacheros and Kostovic are within 2/10 of each other. Kosti going a little bit wider. See if he can get a good run into this back straight. You know, it is tough having two drivers of the same team. Are they gonna going side by side as Andres gets pushed wide? Was that Diego or Andres? Oh my God, Kosti taking advantage, getting ahead of Andres. Diego getting ahead of both the drivers. Kosti looking at the inside line. Huge defensive drive by Diego, but still maintaining the position up front. Looks like Kosti is Andres out of fuel potentially. Kosti looking for that last corner move, trying to take that inside. Is he gonna make the run? No. Diego is able to maintain the position, going in fourth place. Another close battle behind. Snyder coming in sixth. Cornota seventh. Let's go back to the Engelman King battle. King making it ahead. Unfortunately, we missed that, but coming in 12th and 13th. Followed by Bravo in 14th, Morrison 15th. We know Morrison has a little bit more pace than that, and really look forward to him placing higher than that. We know he has that in him. Vercosa coming in 15th. And then let's see who we've got left. Tanner closing off that 16th position. Beachley 17th, Provolone 18th. Orozco 19th, Alvarez 20th. Alvarez, great job in 20th. Great performance. Yeah, looks like Andres did run out of gas. Not sure what happened there, but I'm sure we might get a chance to talk to him. But yeah, what a great race. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. How's everyone doing tonight? Whoever's on here. Oh, hey V. And you have the great designer of the Naps livery in chat with us, Vivacious. We're just commenting on what a great job you've done with that Naps livery. Yep, yes, sir. There's 3 races, so we just finished round 1, and we'll soon be going into our qualifying round. For round 2, look at that, some livery designer to livery designer love. Oh, Rocket, you are a champ. Thanks for the gift of sub to Mr. Shy Guy. Hey, Reed, if you're in here, how's it going? Trying to live up to the high expectations and standards that you've set. So let's look at the final standings here. We have Riley Manier in first place. Had a bit of a challenge from Kerstetter. Did a good job holding it off. A little bit of that big butt BMW action, being able to maintain that position. Unfortunately for Ed, didn't quite work out for him. It was a ambitious move, could have played out for him, but yeah, in the end didn't. Ed coming in second place, still being able to maintain a really good spot for his team. Baisden getting contact with Ali Raza earlier in the race, as you would expect from the incredible talent that is Danny Baisden. He did make his way back up from 6th or 7th up back into 3rd place. A great performance by him. Diego Mastachero in 4th place. Um, really great battle, great qualifier from Diego, as we do see him out qualified by his brother usually, but very good to see him switch the roles a little bit, not only in qualifying but also ending up ahead of his brother in our race here. And then followed by Mr. Kosovic, who put up a great battle with the pair there. And then Jarek Snyder with the B&G team, fellow teammates with Riley, and my teammates unfortunately had to step away from the race today to cover the broadcast. Coming in 7th, Professor Kernotis. 8th, Andrew Pickerel. 9th, Ali Raza. We'll have to go back and see what happened in that replay. Hopefully we do have the replay saved and we'll be able to look at it. Might not have time between now and the qualifying, but we'll see if we can get to it. 10th for Iglesias. That's a great performance. Good job, man, in the Alpine, the solo Alpine driver out there. King getting the 11th position in the last lap, coming in from last place. That is a great performance by Reggie, all the way from 26th, 27th, up to 11th place. A really good run for Reggie. Engelman in 12th place. Jeremy must have had an issue because I do believe that he qualified top of Div 2, followed by Bravo, Morrison, Vercosa, Masters, Beachley, Provolone, and we lost the list. So let's go back to the session here as we get started with Quali 2 for race 2 of the night. That's 2 of 3. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Glad to have you. Hope you're enjoying the races as we have our drivers heading out to get ready for their second qualifying session. So this might be a good time as we're going out for our warm-up lap, our out lap, I should say. We do have our third endurance race, our 2 hours and 40-minute solo endurance at the Nürburgring coming up on March 12th. Partnered with the great, the awesome 949 Sim Racing. We've had so much fun in the last 2 races with Mike Jackson going 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Mr. Racer X winning both of our endurance races, showing incredible mental fortitude and skill. And looking to see if there's anyone out there who can challenge him for that win. He is going to be a tough person to beat. But we do have quite a few talented drivers. We're going to have a great grid. We're expecting the largest grid that we've had so far in the next race, which is at Nürburgring on March 12th. So that's Saturday, March 12th. If you hadn't, hey, Mike, yeah, I did hear your name in quite the positive manner at that, recognizing your 2 for 2 wins at the endurance with a phenomenal performance in both races. Seeing some drivers trying out for some alternate strategies to try and beat you, with Coasty going for a long run 1 pit strategy to try and take and beat your 2-stop strategy, but didn't quite work out, changing his strategy up for race 2, but still coming up short. You've been doing a phenomenal job both in pace and patience and just really owning that endurance series. So looking forward to your performance at Nürburgring. Hope to see you there, and hope to see some people come up and challenge that drive. I know it's going to take a very big person to be able to do that, to be able to match your talent and your experience, but we'll see. We've got quite a few new people that are going to be joining for that third race. That's March 12th. Come and join us, Trackalicious and 949, for that third event of the Trackalicious 949 Endurance Series, the 2 hour, 40 minute of Nürburgring on March 12th. Come on. I wouldn't say it was luck. You get lucky in 15 minutes. You get lucky maybe in 30 minutes, but at 2 hours and 40 minutes, maybe a little bit of luck, but also a lot of skill and experience. So great strategy, great decision making, and definitely having won both races. I don't think we could chalk it up to luck. And looking forward to your performance, top tiered regardless of what the outcome is at Nürburgring, and the races succeeding that. So as Mr. Bravo finishes up his first quali lap, let's see where he ends up. Or is that the yep. Must have invalidated. So we have Andrew Pickrell going for the top spot with a 152.9. Let's do this. So we got Beachley coming in with a massive performance, topping the charts. First place provisional Div 2 pole with a 152.2, followed by Pickrell with a 152.9. Pickrell 3/10 up, which not enough to take that provisional pole, but still finding some time. So let's stick with Pickrell here as he's 5/10 up, almost 6/10 up, trying to knock Beachley off that top spot. A couple of good performances below them, but the eyes are on Mr. Pickrell here, up to 7/10, 8/10. So let's get into the car with him here as he puts on a great show, finding a great time. 9/10 up. Phenomenal first half of the lap, or first 2/3 of the lap, as he goes into the last couple of corners into Crocodile, still maintaining great apex. Maybe trying to get a bit of draft from who I think could be, it's probably Bravo. A little bit wide there, losing a 10th or 2, maybe less, but patience on the throttle. And will he get it? Not enough by 1/100th of a second. 1/100th of a second, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that was close. Let's see if anyone else is able to do anything. Iglesias coming here with 9/10 up on his previous lap, a 53.3 in the home stretch. Going from 5th to 3rd. Great performance by him. Who's out there still? King trying to put down a valid lap. Oh no, we have the Div 1 guys out now. So in Div 2, let's quickly roll through this before they get started here. We have Beachley, Pickrell, Iglesias, Engelman, Wasson, Bravo, Ward, Bercosa, Masters, Orozco, Danny P, Smith, rounding out our Div 2 runners, as King leaves a little bit of gap to the person ahead, being our quality outlap, being respectful of the drivers ahead, not to force them into anything, and not blocking himself from getting a good run. Let's see if Danny Basin's got anything to say about his performance from the previous race. Danny being one of those personalities that doesn't take losing lightly. He's a great sport. All around, extremely great guy to have a part of our server and a part of our league. But I'm sure he's not going to take that non-win lightly. He's going to put down, hopefully, what should be a blazing lap. Let's hop on here and have a look. around Clubhouse Bend, just kissing the apex. Into the S's. A phenomenal car control. Just knows exactly where the car needs to be. Fine balance with the steering wheel, throttle, and brake. As he goes into Liu Cup. Finding a really good exit. Through a mine shaft. Looks like he was flat out through there. Really going down into second to help turn the car using the entire allowable track into Cheetah. So much speed carried through there. And the final cornering away. Hard braking. Trying to lay apex a little bit wide using all of the track. Putting in a lap that is invalidated. Must have been in one of the previous corners. Unfortunately, we missed it. So, looking at the top here, we got Ali G in P2 and Riley Manier in P1 with a difference of 2 thousandths of a second. That's 0.002 seconds between these top two drivers as they put their final lap in. Both looking like they're about a tenth or two up, so this is going to be a really close finish. Where's Riley at? Riley's just behind Ali, so let's see where Ali ends up first, and then we'll pop into Riley's car. Ali looks like he's got a bit more pace than Riley with 2/10 in the bag as he goes into the final corner. Let's see if he's able to keep it clean. Good on the apex, patience on the throttle. Is that an invalidation? He did. He invalidated his lap. That is so unfortunate for him. Riley finding 3/10, going into the 150.7. Wow. That's incredible. Let's see who we got over here. Tansky finding a second. 52.7 popping into 13th. Baisden. What do we have here? Danny pops into pole position with a 150.42. That right there is talent, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible drive by Danny. If you had one shot, one opportunity, would Danny Basin take it? Hell yeah, he would. Putting it in pole for race 2. Yeah, Tanner, you guys are doing such a great job in the Maserati. Credit to you guys. I don't know how you do it. Yeah, good job. That's all I could say. Yeah, what a great job indeed by Carbon, a.k.a. Danny Basin, taking his one available lap and putting it on the top spot. All right, let's do a fly through here. Let's go see. Hopefully a little bit earlier with 3 minutes left, so hopefully I'll have enough time to fly through the liveries here and not do a crappy job of the camera work here. But look at that grid. What a fantastic grid of cars. Some great liveries. Back to the Area 52. Fetty, looking at your lovely work here. Look at the detail there, guys. Awesome. The alien pyramids here. Riley Manier in second place. What a great night for him so far. Winning the first race in P2, or qualifying P2. I'm sure he's going to make a run for it, but it's going to be tough considering that he's got both Area 52 guys on his inside. So It's going to be a bit of a trick to see whether he's going to be able to go a little bit deep, a little bit faster into the first couple corners, and maybe see if he can gain some positions and keep the guys behind him. Again, going back to the Nutella Motorsports, I believe Reggie made this livery, one of our other talented livery creators, our master liverer, as we call them in our server. Yeah, we do give those who create liveries some credit. V, looking at the lovely livery from you, the Naps team with a traditional native symbolism here, all the way from Peru. The 949 Mercedes, Joseph Kosovich representing the 949 server. Mr. Snyder, wow, that's a great performance by him in 8th place. The Beam and G, huge Beam and G guy. And the left-hand brewing McLaren with, I don't know what this guy's name is, but the looper guy, let's call him. Looking at Morrison Motorsports with the Falcon tire livery, classic. And I believe that is Chrono? No, it's Matt. As we mentioned, Matt showing his true pace, coming in 11th place in quali. Great job, Matt. Chrono right behind him. Iglesias, 14th. Tansky, a little bit of flavor from some of the in-game liveries. The Tanner Masters Rocket Racing livery, I believe is in here as Rocket GT. Some great work here. Yeah, Loop Daddy, there it is. There it is, Beachley. Looking at the Tacos Locos BMW. That's a speedy taco right there, ladies and gentlemen. And the, was that Slow Guys Racing? Slow Car Club? Slow Car Club. I love this livery. Super awesome. Oh, I'm being flown around. Almost made it through the field, but we'll catch the rear end of the field here as we go through. I'm going to make it. And last but not least, the safety car. I believe this is Mr. Alvarez, our GT3 streamer. Does a phenomenal job at that. Mark Rabier. That's right. Uh-oh. We have a problem. Who is that? 30. Ali Raza. What's going on? No, Ali. Car won't turn on? Hardware issues? That is not good news. Oh, no. Hopefully we'll see him back on the field. That would be terrible to have missed that. Unfortunately, it's a part of what we deal with in the sim world. I mean, you know, we talk about realism and we talk about issues and you know, ACC does such a phenomenal job, especially with their new tire model, in having updated that in the 1.8 update in ACC. So much realism. Yeah, it might have been a disconnect, Mike. Hopefully not. He was back in the pit, so maybe we'll see him rolling again. Maybe it was I don't know. I don't see a lot of positive outcomes on that one, but hopefully he can come back for race 3 at least. But yeah, we talk about realism, and ACC does such a phenomenal job in both simulating the dynamics of the cars, but also visuals. I mean, it's such a beautiful looking sim, especially in the rain and at night and sunset. Oh my God, I love ACC in the sunset. And we talk about the frustrations that come with some of the details that we face with an ACC. You know, some of these disconnects and things, but it's kind of representation of the real world. That's how I like to put a positive spin on it. You know, rather than having broken wishbones and drive shafts and flat tires, you get hardware issues. It's a part of racing. It sucks. It happens to the worst of us and the best of us, but It does happen, as we see, unfortunately, Ali Raza not being able to join the grid in such a phenomenal qualifying session, nearly taking pole position. With, if he hadn't invalidated, he might have been on pole. But it's a part of racing, guys. Unfortunately, you hate to see it. It does happen. Let's chalk it up to some realism, some racing representation, some mechanical error, some mechanical issues, if you want to call it that, as we really get ready here to go into the front straight, lining up, trying to find their positions. Riley really finding that spot. Looks like he's a bit farther ahead than normal. Not sure why that is. Hopefully there are no drive-throughs, but yeah, it does end up getting that position, going in for the blocker, going extremely defensive against two Area 52 guys as Danny tries to make a move on the outside, but Riley does get a relatively decent exit. Stays on the inside, but he will, on the outside, will have the inside line. Ed coming in with a little bit of a send again. Danny going a little bit wide to avoid Ed. And we have Andreas in the mix as well. So Ed and Riley wheel to wheel. Ed does get the better turn on Sunset. Riley slotting into the second position. Mastachero trying to force Bazin into an error. Goes wide. Again, great wheel to wheel racing. Mastachero getting better braking into that corner. So as it stands, we have Ed Kerstetter in first place, Riley Minier in second, Bazin in third. Or I think Mastachero did get that position from Bazin. Yeah, Mastachero in third, Bazin in fourth. Some great racing in the back. Looking to see if we got a contact or two in the back there, but hopefully nothing too crazy. Riley really trying to force Ed into an error, but Ed maintaining his cool. Both getting pretty decent exits out of Crocodile into Cheetah. Danny getting the position back from Andreas right behind Kostovic, trying to pressure Andreas into a mistake. Let's go back here and see what's going on as we see a nice little group of cars with Bazin getting the spot back. Mastachero in fourth. Danny taking an extremely defensive line. Mastachero trying to take that ideal racing line. Does get pretty close. Yeah, Ed is quite the overtaking master. He does go in. He has that killer instinct. Errors on the side of he goes for it. Let's put it that way. He goes for gaps that some wouldn't. And sometimes to his benefit and sometimes to his loss, as we saw in the last race. So trying to really build a gap between the guys here as we start getting into a more linear line here. I see. Ooh, Engelman and Bravo going wheel to wheel back here. A little bit better braking from Engelman and then taking the spot. Great job. Really difficult to do in the Maserati, but as we spoke earlier, Jeremy's really found himself in this car. Ooh, late braking by Bravo, but does a good job to not get into the back of Jeremy there. Oh, that's Orozco. No, that's Bravo. No, that's Orozco. No, that's Bravo. They're both behind each other. Sorry. They're really close to each other, hence the confusion. Yeah, Orozco showing some great pace, being up here, challenging in the Bravo. Yeah, it's your decision if we crash or not. Yeah, I mean, sometimes does feel that way when Ed goes in for a move, but we have seen Riley season in, season out, multiple championship winner here at Track Lucius. Both, I mean, they're all championship winners. Riley Minier, Ed Kerstetter, and Danny Bazin. all having won championships at Trackalicious. Needless to say, they know how to race wheel to wheel. Oh, we see Ed having made a mistake somewhere, falling back into 4th place. Danny coming in second. I mean, kind of talking about it, not sure what happened there. Unfortunately, we missed it, but Masachero still putting great pressure onto Danny Bazin, and Bazin pushing pressure on Munir over there. Taking a look on the inside, not quite the right time. It's so incredibly difficult to keep the pace that Masachero is maintaining, being so close to Danny, still putting so much pressure on him, going on the outside, forcing Danny to a tighter line. Might get a good run out of here. A little bit of curb, but really good exit onto the back straight here, going into Mine Shaft. Masachero putting a lot of pressure on Danny Bazin, giving Munir a little bit of gap to play with as he tries to pull out ahead. Really great racing up front here. Absolutely, Mike. Yeah, there's not a lot of room for error. I'm really curious to what happened with Ed. We'll try to go back and have a look at that replay as I'm sure that Riley used up one of his track cuts there. It goes really wide onto the exit of Ingwe there in the last corner. So Riley, a little bit of a gap, not much, as Masachero keeps putting pressure on Danny Bazin, but Danny closes up the gap as I say that to Riley. This is a great group of cars up front. Let's go back. I'm sure these guys are going to keep battling, but let's have a look and see what's going on back here. Is Provolone putting pressure on Pickrell in the Nutella car versus the Creamsicle, I think it was called. I'm sorry, Mike Burkhoff. I forgot the name of the team, but I believe it's the Creamsicle car. All food-based liveries. Food-based livery versus food-based livery. Yeah, those top guys always show out, Fetty. Those guys are incredible. Every race, it's just so much fun to watch them. I'm usually in the races myself, but make it a point to go back and look at the replays and watch our stream because they just put on such an incredible show. As Provolone really putting a lot of pressure here on Pickrell, but Pickrell very level-headed, experienced driver in ACC and in iRacing, forcing him into the tighter line, going wide. Let's see if he's able to get a good exit out of the hairpin here. Getting a good run. Is he going to have a look? Going extremely defensive, Pickrell is. Provolone taking the more ideal line, but going a little bit wide. So they're going to maintain and keep going on that battle. Let's stick with them just a little bit longer before we head back to the top. Don't see a change up there, but Bazin really close to Munir, so we are going to go back and have a look very soon. Let's have a look here. Bazin having a look. Not quite, being very respectful. Still tucking in behind. I have no idea how he sees any of the racetrack. Oh, has a look on the inside going into Barbecue, is that? Yeah, Barbecue does get the inside. Forces Riley to the outside. They're going wheel to wheel. Riley has the inside line going into Sunset now, and they're so close. Forces Riley to take the narrow line, trying to maintain the speed, but has to tuck behind Riley Munir as Riley goes defensive yet again, trying to keep Danny Bazin behind for that second position. Great battle up front, extremely talented drivers. I don't know how Danny sees any of the racetrack behind that BMW. So it looks like a toy car hidden behind an adult race car. So Danny pedaling his way into second place, and I'm sure he's going to try and pedal his way into first as he muscles that little bit of a car into a tighter line yet again. Manages to get a good run out of Leo Kopp. Not much gap between these two as Mastachero is really tight to Kerstetter. Kerstetter seems to have made a mistake as we see the little train behind. I hate to call it a train because there's an indication that someone's holding each other up, but I think it's just a show of mass talent amongst the top 6 guys being able to race so closely amongst each other. Yeah, yeah, that's Mike. I'd categorize you as a part of the alien crew, and I think you're giving us some of the secrets that they have in their X-ray vision. But yeah, so jealous of their ability to see through cars and have that innate sense of where to brake. But as Riley puts a little bit of a gap, let's go back here and look at this group of cars back here as Masachero, Diego putting pressure onto Kostovic, Kostovic putting pressure onto Andres, Andres putting pressure onto Ed Kerstetter. What a great group of cars. Incredible racing. Kosti getting really close to Andres over here, putting pressure on and allowing Ed to get a little bit of breathing room as they keep moving forward. We do have a bit of a battle going on behind. I'd really like to go see what's going on back there as well. Times in which I wish I had multiple computers to show you guys all the action, but unfortunately only 2 hands and 1 CPU. So let's keep with this battle here, and then we'll pop into the back and see what's going on for the back. But looks like they're still going to maintain these positions. Baisden and Manir still battling up front. Almost a half a second between them, but let's pop back here. Ooh, King onto Beachley, Beachley onto Pickerel. King really close to Beachley as Beachley looks like he makes a bit of a mistake going too narrow into the corner. Reggie getting a good run going up the hill here into Leocop, into the hairpin in the back of the track. He does get a nice little tight entry, decent exit. See if he's able to maintain or gain on that gap. Reggie looks like he's falling a little bit behind just by tenths. Ali Raza seems to have found his equipment all back together and is trying to make his way through the field. I'm sure there must have been some sort of delay as Ali goes wide. Come on, Ali. Let's rein in that focus. I'm sure you could do some great things from back there and make some headway through the group. We'll come back and have a look at him. Miss Verkosa putting some pressure onto Smith. Smith makes a mistake. Verkosa takes that apex beautifully, gains that position. Good job. Wow, so much action. Let me take a second to take a breath here, but let's go back into the first and second place battle for first place. Basin, lots of pressure onto Manir. Manir, strong focus. Strong focus on Manir. Extreme amount of experience. Great performance, great talent from Riley Manir here, but Bazin will not just let this one go. He is going to pressure and pressure and pressure to see if he can get that position. Add that pressure with some sprinkle of talent, and you have a sauce that is quite spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Quite spicy indeed. So keeping the pressure onto Riley Manir. Riley not having made any major mistakes just yet, but continuing the chase. Getting really close to Riley here. Less than half a second between the two. And using that the secret X-ray vision. Go Beachley indeed. High spec. Beachley a little bit over half a second behind Pickerel, and we'll head back to his race as soon as he gets a little bit closer. It looks like King's pretty close to Beachley here, but let's look at the team-on-team battle. Looks like Engelman just snuck through Masters there. A bit of damage on Engelman's car. I wonder what happened there. But let's go back into here. So again, King onto Beachley, Beachley onto Pickerel. Beachley getting quite close to Pickerel there, showing some great pace as he's developed through the season. A little bit too tight on Cheetah, but with the updated tire models that we have, he's able to have a huge amount of lean on that car, but still maintain control. Looks like King getting a great run out of the last corner. Might take a look at the entry to the quote-unquote second corner, really first real corner, but the kink is the first corner. So getting really close to Beachley, being extremely cautious not to get into the back of him, but what a great group battle over here as well. King really putting pressure onto Beachley. Still maintaining position. Ali looking for yet another position, excuse me. Being forced a little wide. Look at that. Who's that? Ward looking to make a move. Ali making a mistake. Look at that. Look at you go. Who is that? Who is that? Who's that? Danny P. Look at that move. Good job, buddy. What a great move. Ali Raza making a mistake. Oh, Padberg. How's it going? Jakob, hope you're doing well. Back from soccer practice, I assume. Let's go back here. Provolone on Pickrell. Or I should say Provolone on Morrison. Morrison in 8th place. Matt, this is what we're talking about. Look at that. You've got such incredible pace. Really happy to see you up there in the top 10. Keep it up, man. Oh, got the Beachley King battle. Got a bit of a gap up front, so let's look and see how Ali G is doing against Denny P. Did he be putting a defense of gladiators, a gladiatorial proportion, but Ali G getting through his experience just simply too much for Denny P to be able to keep behind. So great job. Really happy to see that willing to put a little bit of spice on the track. Hopefully it was all clean. Didn't get to see it all, but looked pretty good from where I was sitting. Let's go back to the Beachley King and Pickerel battle. King getting really close to Justin here. Trying to find a way around. Reggie showing an immense amount of patience as we head to the end of the race. Oh God, it's over already. Didn't realize that our timer is down to 0. So let's keep an eye on what's going on here. See if Danny's able to do anything. But from the look of it, Riley's been able to maintain quite the defensive line. Danny getting a great run out of Crocodile, but both making it relatively cleanly through as he goes and looks at a dive at the final corner. It's a cut. Is he gonna make the overrunner? Oh, goes too wide. What an epic attempt in the final corner there. Nice try, but I think he realized that it was a bit of a dive and allowed Riley to go through. Great job. Looking back here, Ed coming in at 3rd, Masachero 4th, Kosovic 5th, Masachero 6th, Snyder 7th. Morrison coming in at 8th place. Provolone 9th. Pickerel 10th. Beachley maintaining the 11th position. Great defensive position by Beachley. King 12th. Engelman 13th. 14th Masters. Bravo 15th. Chrono 16th. Kosa 17th. Ali G 18th. Smith gonna be keeping that 20th position. It's close. Wheel to wheel. Woo! Half a car at the line. Tansky really pressuring Denny P at the line, but Denny P able to maintain that 20th position. Ward 22nd. Alvarez coming in at 23rd. Iglesias and Wassam stepping out for the remainder of the race. And I apologize. Looked like I had race control up the whole time. Hopefully it wasn't too much of an interference to what was going on track. I will try to remember to keep that off next time. Sorry, there was just so much action. I wasn't able to look at my streaming screen, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the race regardless. Wow. Let's take a breath there. I know I was talking, but I'm sure you guys are out of breath as well. So why don't we take a quick second? Let's see if we can go back and look at the replay here. See what happened to Ed there. Yeah, Mike, I think if I were to guess, I think Danny realized that he had to do something, but also realized that it was a bit of an optimistic send. And Riley was smart enough to keep out of it and maintain a line and maybe give a little bit of room for Danny to make that mistake and go wide and really put himself wide and take that first place. So great race regardless. So cool to see. And let's see what happens here. see. A little wide. Nothing crazy to see just yet. Riley was having a quick look there. Let's go to Riley's view. Ooh, went wide again. Little mistake. Ooh! Unforced error. That's, looks like he just got a little bit of... Yeah, absolutely. I would expect nothing less from the guys. So what happens to it? Oh, yeah, just puts 2 tires into the grass and lets that. Yeah. We kid and joke in our track walks that Ed uses blades of grass to determine his braking points, and you could see here that unfortunately for Ed, 3 to 4 blades of grass is 2 blades of grass too many, and unfortunately sends him into the Netherlands. Not the literal country, the Netherlands, but the Netherlands. How unfortunate for him. But as you said earlier, the slightest mistake is just enough for these guys to take advantage. Yeah. So slots back into that 4th position. Let's see. Okay, let's go back and see what's going on. Oh. Sorry, a little bit of silliness from me here. Let's try and get back into the server. Sword, thanks for stopping by. Great to have you here. Have a good night. As we get ACC loaded up here again, we are rolling into Q3, qualifying 3 for our 3rd race. Oh, no problem, Mike. Thanks for sticking around. Let's go check this out, see what's going on. Looking forward to seeing you at our endurance race. Bringing the, I'm not going to call it the A game, I'm going to call it the X game. The Supreme Endurance Master right now. Yeah, sorry, it's just silliness from me fumbling on the keyboard here and quitting the session before it's over. So we are going back here. Yeah, we have one more round. Yeah. Big thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it so much. You are a legend, you. Thanks for being here. And just getting ready to watch our next race as I fumble around here trying to get my apps up again. I pressed a couple of keys that I shouldn't have. There we go. Back to the action in just a second, guys. Sorry, 1 second. And here we go. All right, we have Engelman leading the charge. You know what? Let's stick in the game here with him. Let's listen to that lovely tone from the Maserati. Hey, Fish. Your test is working and your comments are coming through as we are looking at the opening lap from Jeremy Engelman here, one of our top performers in Div 2, riding the no traction control, no ABS Maserati, one of the very few cars in the sim that lacks these creature comforts, let's call them. Really exemplifying the skill that is Jeremy Engelman. Let's see what he could do. Perform reasonably well in race 1 and 2 as we roll into, this is the third quali session, preparing for our third race tonight. Ooh, that tone. That Italian soprano that is the Maserati. All right, as the times come in here, we are looking at a 1:52.6 from Engelman, 52.4 from Bravo, an identical time from Pickerel, 52.602. So the time to beat right now is Jose Bravo with a 1:52.492. I believe that Silver Div 2 ended up with the 1:52.0 for the previous qualifying session. So that'll be the time to beat. So looks like Engelman's up 0.2, and Pickerel is up 0.5. So let's stick with Pickerel. Let's see if he's able to pull some magic here with some American muscle from that beefy Camaro. Look at that. I love that front end. Really cool looking. Not much trunk space though, but I don't think that's a problem for the race car over here. You might be able to fit a leg in one of those Camaros in the 1LEs, and that's being gracious, probably half a leg. But they do make some phenomenal track cars. A little bit of patriotism from Mr. Fish here. Go Chevy. 6/10 up, 7/10 up. Really setting himself up for that pole position in Div 2 as the Div 1 guys head out on their outlap. But looks like Mr. Pickerel is going to secure himself provisional pole in Div 2 with a 1:51.987. That is a fast lap. That is a hell of a lap. Great job. That's gonna put some of the Div 2 guys behind him, I think. Sorry, the Div 1 guys behind him. So really great lap, Pickerel. Would expect nothing less from you. So let's hop on. Let's look at someone new. Let's look at, so we watched Coasty, we watched Baisden, let's stay with Mastachero. Let's see what the Naps Aston Martin's got to offer for us this quali session, and a little bit of paying respect to that lovely livery by Vivacious. Look at that fade in the middle. Love that red to black homage to the heritage from Peru. Lovely gold wheels complementing the livery there. Let's pop up race control as we see the times. Not quite matching up there, so let me hide that. We'll bring it up at the end. So what do we have? Let's ride on board. Getting that lovely urgly gurgly from the Aston Martin. Using every inch of the track, trying to maximize the speed through the lap. Andres Masachero finding every ounce of speed that he can. Little bit of a lift through mineshaft as we see some of the times coming through. LEG taking provisional pole, 50.7. Provolone second place, 51.8. King and Morrison 7th and 8th behind some of the Div 2 guys as Masachero comes through. What do we have from Andres? Going in P2 behind Ali Raza with a 51.3. Top on with Coasty. In third place right now, Kerstetter taking provisional pole with a 150.5. Bazin 150.6. So top three guys within 0.2 of each other. 50.5, 50.6, 50.7. Kerstetter, Bazin, Raza. Ali Raza up a 10th. Let's go back here. Is he going to get another shot? Yes, I think he is. Ali Raza looks like he's up almost 0.2, but so is Danny much earlier in the lap. You know, I actually want to do this for you guys so you can see what I'm seeing. Unfortunately, it covers a little bit of the driving, but I think this is really cool to see. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. So we've got Baisden 0.3 up. As it stands, if he does not make any errors, would solidify his place in pole position yet again. Meneer out, will not be putting down a lap time. Taking it up to 0.6. This is going to be... Ooh. Blades of grass, people. They really are. They are within a blade of grass or two of the limits. 0.5 coming in at a 50.055, securing the pole position. Danny Basin, ladies and gentlemen, followed by a little bit of a love tap from his teammate Ed Kerstetter. After the lap was finished, so no harm, no foul down there. We would not be happy if that was during the race or during qualifying, but just showing his buddy a little bit of love there. So we have, ooh, it is dark. It is dark. Let's do this. All right, let's go through the field here. All right. Actually, that's probably why this is being funny, but I love how ACC looks with dusk, dawn, dark, light. All right, so we got, let's go through the field here. And you know what? I'm going to turn this off right now. All right. Keep this on. No. We got Danny Baisden in second place. First place. Ed Kerstetter in second. Ali Raza, third place. Riley Manier, fourth. Kostovich, fifth. Provolone, sixth. Provolone, look at that performance. Really putting... Is that Provolone? Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Nutella cars really finding their groove in this third race. In P3, P6, P8. That's going to be really helpful for them to try and muscle their way through the grid. So let's keep going here. Masachero in 7th. King in 8th. Pickrell in 9th. Kronotis in 10th. Masachero in 11th. Snyder 12th. Engelman 13th. Bravo 14th. Morrison 15th. Going down a couple of places since the last race. I think he had a top 10 in the previous qualifier. But I'm sure he'll make up some spots if he manages to keep himself clean. Wassim 16th. Tansky 17th. Beachley 18th. Masters 19th. Verkosa 20th. Danny P 21st. Ward 22nd. Orozco 23rd. Alvarez 24th. Iglesias 25th. And Smith 26th. Missing someone? I feel like there was someone missing here. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm not quite sure. Let's see what time this race is. Beachley coming in with... So it's 7:05 p.m. I don't know what the time multiplier is. Probably 2 times or 3 times. So it might get fully dark, but probably not, since it's only a 15-minute race. As we go through, as the cars go down, hopefully we don't miss anyone like we did Mr. Raza. Unfortunately for him, must have had some sort of issue at the start of the race. As we watch our grid go by, let's go low. Watch the coolness of ACC as it gets dark here. Beachley not only here for the racing, but also paying attention to the fans. Look at that. The people's driver. A little bit of flashing going on there from Mr. Alvarez, I assume. Look at how great this sim looks. We're missing you out here, Fish. Love to see you join. So while we're here, just a quick reminder. If anyone watching is interested, we are looking for a streamer for the Thursday night leagues. So this league, this is the streaming slot. Love to have someone come and take up Reed Aldridge's spot. If you look forward to it, Fish. If you have any interest in streaming the races, please feel free to reach out to me. That's Eric from Trackalicious. Hop into our Trackalicious server, ! Server, probably. As we see the guys warm up their tires and get the pressures up. What's going to be interesting in this session is whether people have their tire pressures correct. It's going to be a bit of a challenge with the temperatures and potentially the changing temperatures as it gets darker. But over a 15-minute period, it's not going to be too crazy. But also, if you are just joining us, welcome. And we are going to be having our 2-hour, 40-minute solo enduro at Nürburgring on March 12th. So please join us. It's going to be a really fun time. Some great drivers, including Mr. Racer X, a.k.a. Mike Jackson, who's won 2 out of the 2 races so far. So come and see if you have the skill, the talent, the experience, the mental fortitude, the physical fortitude to spend 2 hours and 40 minutes and trump Mr. Mike Jackson. It's going to be tough. He's really good. But definitely something that is going to be interesting as we get ready here. So, Fish, it is, I believe the race starts at noon. Let's go into Helicam here. Noon Eastern on the 12th. We're going to be racing at the Nürburgring. So, we're almost ready to get started here. Green, 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 as it looks like Kerstetter does get a good start, but Danny has the inside line. Is Danny going to get his elbows out to maintain position? Riley Minier looking on the inside, gonna try and take that spot, doing a good job of staying on the outside. Danny maintaining that first place spot, putting a little bit of a gap between himself. Ed going in for that inside line yet again, but Danny does not go wide this time. He's able to maintain that first place position. As you see, Riley making a move for that second place, gets a good run out of that corner, out of barbecue, gets himself in front of Kerstetter. What a great move by Riley, getting himself into second place. As we see people starting to line up, Danny making his way solidly into first, putting a little bit of a gap between Riley and Ed, but not quite enough as we've seen in the previous 2 races, as Ali starts getting closer and closer in the back while Ed and Riley battle each other, giving Danny a little bit more room yet again. Danny leaving even a further gap now. Let's go and see this from Ed's view. Looking at Coasty. So going into the final corner, we have Baisden, Manir, Kerstetter, Raza, Kostovic, Mastachero, Provolone, King, Pickerel. Snyder rounding out the top 10. Really close again between these top 6 guys. You tell him, Mike. It's going to be really, really fun. We're going to have a great grid of drivers coming out of all skill levels. So, but Fish, we got to get you well acquainted for a 2-hour, 40-minute run at it. Cronota's putting some pressure on Orozco here. Looking on the inside. Decides not to make the move, but I'm sure he's going to get a good run out of here, as typically Chrono does have a bit of pace over Orozco. Yeah, we can get you there, Fish. I'm confident of it. It'll take some work, though. as Chrono finds the inside line. Tansky trying to squeeze himself in, but Orozco, Chrono makes it a little bit too narrow. Orozco keeping the position now. Tansky having a look at Chrono, makes the move on Chrono, gets the inside line run out of Liu Kop. Does make the move stick. Good job, Tansky, taking advantage of a situation there. As we look at Morrison being really close to Engelman here, makes it through, takes the position cleanly. Great job there. I'm sure Engelman's not going to let that fly for too long. He's going to want that position back. Ooh, really, really close coming into the final corner of Ingwe. Let's see if he can get a good run onto the front straight. Not bad. The Maz does have some good straight line speed, and he does have the toe, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for him to make a move in this lap. Looks like we had someone in the pits. Could have been Bravo potentially. As comes in. Ooh, that is an unfortunate rejoin. Might have put Engelman into a tough spot. Let's look at where Masachero. So Diego within 0.2 of Snyder. Chronotis makes the move on Tansky's stick as he gets ahead of him. Tansky trying to come back, keeping it a little bit tighter than Chrono. Getting a good line into the S's. No, that was Clubhouse Bend going into the S's. Still very tight, as you see Orozco make a bit of a mistake. Orozco's found some really incredible pace here. Good job. Chrono going a little bit defensive. Tansky taking the wide line, trying to get a good run into the back straight. Orozco still maintaining the lead in this little group into Mineshaft, going up to Crocodiles. Goes a little defensive. Picks a good braking spot. Chrono has to go wide. A little too far for him to be able to stay and make a move and force Orozco narrow. Orozco doing a great job of maintaining position. It's a really good performance by Orozco. Oh, and there's a touch there. Oh, that is so unfortunate. A little bit of impatience from Chrono. Spinning Orozco around. That will definitely have to be reviewed. That is extremely unfortunate for Orozco, and such a great performance at that. That's so disappointing to see. As we go to Snyder, the battle between Masachero to Snyder to Pickerel. Really close racing here. Snyder looking to see if there's a gap that he could make a move on Pickerel, but Pickerel keeping his line. Finds some room next to Pickerel, goes side by side. Going on the outside, he's going to look and see if he can get a good run onto the straight. But Masachero on the inside, taking advantage of a moment, but not able to make it stick. So Snyder really looking to make some work, do some work onto Pickerel. But with Masachero back there, it's becoming quite the challenges. Pickerel yet again takes that inside line. Snyder has to go wide. Masachero still really breathing down those tailpipes, making it incredibly difficult on both ends. Looks like Snyder has some pace over Pickerel, but just can't find his way around. See if he's going to be able to make some pace here as we see... Who's that? Ali G coming in. Where did Ali come from? Is that a slowdown or... Must have made a mistake up front. Now coming into the mix. Look at this pack, ladies and gentlemen. Snyder looking on the outside yet again. Is he going to be able to make a stick? And Ali makes contact with Pickerel. Spins him around. Unfortunately, that's going to be another review by the stewards there. Fortunately for Snyder, he's able to make his way through cleanly, as the group's still pretty tight back there. Just see. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. And this is between Morrison, LEG, and Engelman. They are bumper to bumper about 10 minutes into this race, a little under 10 minutes into this race with 6 minutes to go. So Morrison up front, LEG got probably a little bit of pace over Morrison. Let's see, he's going to be able to force him into a mistake. So let's stick with LEG. Let's see what he's able to do here. Morrison, quite the talented driver, tends to make a couple of mistakes here and there. LEG a little bit more consistent, so let's see if he's going to be able to force Morrison into a mistake or not. Gets really good run into the back straight, into mine shaft. Really close here. Is he going to have a look? Morrison going defensive, Ali on the outside. Looking to find that breaking point. Still really close. Not able to make the move just there, but keeping it extremely close to Morrison. Yeah, Pickrell is quite the driver, extremely consistent, so that's really unfortunate for that to have happened to him. But again, it's a part of racing. I mean, when you go with multiple cars trying to dominate the same spot on track, sometimes it leads into unfortunate incidents like we saw to Pickrell and Orozco. LEG going in for that braking maneuver. Is that too late? Is Morrison going to be able to take that position back? No, Ali is able to maintain the spot, staying tight, going up into barbecue. Seals the spot as he makes his way ahead. Morrison still in 9th spot in the top 10 positions, doing a great job there. Let's hop up into the battle between Kostovic and Mastachero. Pretty close, half a second between them. Looks like Kerstetter was able to get Menier somewhere along the road. Fortunately, we missed that, but with having so much action and only one camera, we can only do so much coverage. So let's pop back down. A Pickrell with his pace, an unfortunate spin. He's going to be wanting to work his way back up as he does some work on Tanner Masters, trying to force Tanner into an error, which is unfortunately more likely than most, considering he's driving the Maserati with no ABS or traction control. So it's going to be quite the challenge for Tanner to keep Pickrell behind him. Only 2 or 3 laps left. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that. Let's pop back down to Vercosa. Vercosa in the Alpine shown some pace in the first 2 races, somehow ending up in the back within a second of Denny P and Was. Non-traditionally in the back here, usually Wash is a little bit further up, but must have gotten himself into an incident. So we'll try and see if we can come back to this. Let's see what else is going on. So Kosovic within a half a second of Mastachero now. Andres up front ahead of his brother Diego in 13th spot. So really great performance by Diego in the first race, and I'm sure he's going to be able to see if he could repeat that in future races, but not for this one, unfortunately. So we've got Kostovic really putting some pressure on Mastachero. Mastachero going a little bit wide, kicking up a little bit of dirt. So let's see. Really working, trying to narrow that gap between Andres and Andres and Kostovic. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my voice is going out a bit. Get a sip of water here as we go back, and let's look at LEG. LEG having made his way through Carnotis, Engelman, and Morrison. Now looking to make a move on Snyder, who's got himself into 8th place. A great performance by Snyder here, getting himself into the top 10 and solid points position for the B&G team. Or the EKT team, I should say. I should know the name of my own team. So the EKT team. Raza trying to get a better exit as he does, keeping it narrow. Snyder making a mistake, but he will have the inside line as Ali Raza tucks himself behind Snyder. Snyder is going to be looking for a really good braking spot over here to keep Ali behind him, as Ali does look for a little bit of a move, not quite able to make it stick, but going into Cheetah, that is, sorry, into Ingwe, the final corner. Snyder doing a good job of keeping Ali Raza behind him. Let's see if he gets a good exit. Ali getting a pretty decent exit himself, able to stay close. Got a fan, an Ali Raza fan here. A little bit of grass. I'm not sure if it's gonna affect anything. Oh, that's another touch, but he's able to maintain it. Snyder with the quick hands, able to maintain that. Avoid the spin as we've seen the others do, unfortunately. So good job, Snyder. Quick hands, great work there. As we go to Kosovic down to less than 2/10 to Mastachero. We're gonna stick with this one for a little bit. He's been working his way into this position. Gets a good exit out of there, out of Clubhouse Bend, going down into S's, with the Mercedes having some great straight line speed. Let's see if he gets a good exit out of Leocop. Has to really stick the braking. Looks like he does so and gets a pretty decent exit. So close. Masachero goes a little bit wide. That's going to give Kosti an opportunity to get even closer. 3/10 between them now. We got a Masachero fan here. Is that fair to say, V? Supporting Masachero, supporting Andres. Steez Nation. Looks like Ali has made his way through Snyder. Sorry, unfortunately we missed that, trying to stick to some of the other you might be obliged, right, V? It's a little bit of an obligation to be an Andres fan. Comes in the relationship contract. As Chrono tries to make a move on Morrison. Beachley having a look as well. So Beachley onto Chrono, onto Morrison. Morrison and Chrono being on the same team. Let's see if this is going to work out, being in the last lap. Let's pop up here. Let's see if Kosti's going to be able to do anything onto the last lap. As really not much action up front, but credit to Bazin being able to maintain, and not only maintain, but being able to pull a substantial gap to his teammate Ed Kerstetter and to Riley in third place. But great performance by all three through the night. Oh, Kosti having a look on the inside, keeps it tight, able to keep a tighter line. He's going to go wheel to wheel. No, has to tuck in just behind Andres, but this is going to be incredibly close as they come into Crocodile. Andres, his racecraft and mental fortitude is going to be able to keep him the position for now, but there are a couple of corners to go. Let's see if Kosti's going to be able to do anything. He's going to look for a full send like Basin did on Manir in the second race. Looking pretty good. Looks on the inside, but Andres has it covered. Both getting pretty decent exits as Andres is able to maintain that well-deserved fourth position. Let's hop back in here. A little bit of flashing going on, trying to get Ali off his game, but not quite, as they come in for 9th and 10th position. Let's see if Tanner's able to do anything over here, and them being within a second of each other, but looks like Pickerel's made some good work of Tanner and is blasting ahead. He's coming in, finishing off the 17th position for Pickerel and 18th for Tanner Masters. Wassim and Alvarez with the photo finish for the safety car team. Denny P coming in 22nd. Berkosa finishing off his lap and sticking with it in 23rd. Wow. What a great race. What a great race. Let's hop in here. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. P next to the drive. Oh, they're in the pits. That's what it stands for. Let's go look at some replays as we have the drivers hopefully popping in here for a quick chat on their performance. I think this is going to be the first race. Here we go. All right, let's see who we got coming up on Discord. Thank you to everyone who was able to stick around. Hopefully you enjoy the races. Always such an action-packed event. All right, we got Riley Manier in the booth with us, and Ed Kerstetter. Hey guys, how was that night of racing for you? Yeah, that was quite the race. All three races, Riley. I mean, the competitiveness between you, Danny, Ed, and kind of Ali nipping at all your guys' heels. Even Andres and Kosi. That top six group in battle was so amazing to watch. Specifically, you three really pushing each other's limits, I'd say. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Riley, you won the first one. Somebody won the second one, and Danny won the third one. Okay, all right. So we saw that. Excuse me. So, a guy's got to do what a guy's got to do, right, Danny? So Riley, let's start with you. Having led and won 2 of the 3 races tonight. How is the pressure coming from the Area 52 guys, both teaming up behind you? Oh, whoa. Sorry. All right, sorry, we can't. Okay, let's see. Can you guys talk? Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
Hello.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
I had something muted, and now I have you unmuted because Whelp did it earlier.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, see,
Must be a full moon.
Ed, at least none of your words were lost. So, appreciate people in chat letting me know, caught it early enough. But let's do a little bit of a reset here. You guys heard what I had to say, but going back to Riley having won 2 out of the 3 races, I think you were shitting bricks, as you put it.
Yes. Yeah, those guys are so fast, and to have to hold them off for I'm really glad the race is only 15 minutes because I don't think I could have survived another lap. They are both of them are just incredible to race with. Always very clean. They're just it's a joy to have them in this series.
Yeah, I would say that as server owner and commentator, it is absolutely a joy having see you guys bring the competitive nature to the series. bringing competition to Riley, who's been, for the most part, really walking the rest of the field in some of the previous leagues that we've had. So nice to see him sweat a little bit. And not only, I'll say, do you guys put pressure on Riley, but you pressure each other. Ed making the move into barbecue on the first and second race, trying to get that second place position. Ed, why don't you walk us through the clear fact that there are no team orders at Area 52?
Yeah, I think that was pretty evident today. There's a couple. I think it was race 2 where Danny and Riley went in to turn 1 side by side and turn 2 side by side, and I kind of threw it over a little curb and threw it up the inside there and got around both of them, but made some stupid mistakes and wasn't able to hold it.
So we did watch that review. We did watch that replay, Ed, and as we've said in your fantastic education with Kerstetter sessions featuring Danny Basin, you play it with blades of grass tolerance. Unfortunately, this time it seems like you're on the wrong side of the single blade of grass as opposed to the right side of it.
Yeah, I made a couple up at the top of the hill, and then the next corner made some mistakes and got behind those guys. But then did some off-roading and managed to get back into third that second race. But it was a lot of fun. I always have fun racing Danny and Riley and the other guys.
Definitely, it was really exciting to watch. So, Danny, coming back to you, saw that there was a bit of a problem. I think it was in the second or first race where you dropped down to like 7th place, but as expected, as we discussed in stream, made quick work of making your way back up into third in less than 15 minutes. Can you walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, Ali Raza had an amazing first race and was really fighting hard and defending really well. And I made a move on the outside, and I think I just pinched his nose off a little too much and didn't give him enough room. So when he, I don't know, it's hard to tell. He mentioned that he may have understeered, but honestly, I think I probably pinched his nose off. So racing incident, maybe, probably on me. I don't know. But yeah, I knew I had a lot of work to go after that, and so I just put my head down and luckily ended up catching up to the Mostaceros and Coasty fighting, and got lucky, as Coach Carta would say. Got definitely lucky.
I think while we might be able to chalk up a little bit of it to luck, definitely a lot of skill as we've seen from you in the past, and I'm sure we'll see in the future. So really good run from you on all 3 races. Really good run from all 3 of you on all 3 races. So extremely exciting to watch. Really close racing. And saw Ed and Riley go door to door there. Unfortunately, not working out for Ed, but getting the big beefy BMW butt is not really a fun place to be with a tiny pedal car McLaren that you guys have there. So
he did well in the he got me in the second race or third race when we were side by side.
Yeah. We just saw the Newton's, one of Newton's law, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and unfortunately for him, your car is a little bit more bigger and heavier. So
it is a beefy boy.
Yeah. So so with that being said, appreciate you guys popping in here, and let's go to our Maserati magician, Jet Black, Jeremy Engelman. Jer, how did all the races go for you? We saw some really great wheel-to-wheel battles with you.
Yeah, the first 2 didn't go super great, as far as just me keeping control and making smart decisions. But the third race, I kind of got handed first place with I think Pickerel and somebody got in a little incident. And yeah, I mean, I just was, I fought hard through quali and tried to give myself in a good position, and just a couple incidences put me back in race 2 for sure. I'm trying to remember race 1, but yeah, I mean, it was good to kind of get another division win. Just my headspace wasn't right for most of the night, so just kind of gave me a little confidence boost. But yeah, we'll have to see how all the incidences shake out and just go from there. But yeah, I mean, it felt good to stay competitive. I think the practice during the week I did a little bit better than I did tonight. I don't know if it was just the goosebumps or whatever you want to call it, just the heebie-jeebies. But yeah.
Well, whether or not it was good in your head, we were boasting your skill in the Maserati. I'm going to start calling you the Maz Magician. Your ability in that car relative to what we've seen from you in the past is incredible. I mean, I think personally that you've taken such a leap this season, and it's not only evident in your ability to drive the Maserati, but we see it in the Lamborghini as well in our GT3 series. So credit to you, great job. I know you don't necessarily always get the results you're looking for. Maybe a little bit of a bit too much paint rubbing here and there every so often, but with regards to pace, it's incredible that you're able to maintain the pace that you are with that Maserati. So credit to you, kudos, good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I really like the car. It's definitely kind of helped me understand vehicle dynamics better, and I think it does carry over into the other cars, just because it's so punishing when you get it wrong. So, it's helping me not have to rely on traction control and ABS so much in other cars, which I think is helping me with pace. But I love the car. It's maybe I could compete a little bit higher if I was driving something else, but I mean, just between the experience and the sound of it and the challenge, I think it's a good spot for me. So I'm looking to kind of keep it for the long haul.
And boy, did we hop in there to hear that Italian soprano of that Maserati engine. So we did take advantage of you driving that car there. So thank you so much for popping in. Great performance. I think you're really in the run for the championship here in Div 2, aren't you? So
yeah, last week set me back. I'll be honest.
I don't think anyone can fault anyone for Bathurst things. So roll of the dice there. So Jer, Mr. Engelman, thank you. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
And look forward to seeing you on Saturday, or Sunday, I should say.
Heck yeah.
And the Saturday to follow, as I assume that you're going to be partaking in our 2-hour, 40-minute solo driver swap. Solo endurance, not a driver swap. It's a solo race. So for those that are just joining us, we do have a 2-hour, 40-minute solo race at Nürburgring. It is on March 12th, starting at noon Eastern. So quality starts at noon Eastern. And Mr. Engelman here has got been in the last 2 races. Hopefully will be in the next one. Some lucky performance, not lucky performance, but some luck in the first race and talent, and some bad luck in the second race and tire choice. So we do run weather variability, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, unfortunately. So see you on March 12th.
One of my favorite series for sure, just because, even if you get a little bit of rubbing in and, make a mistake or two, it's not over just because of the length. So it's a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll be there. I'll be there with the special livery for Nürburgring.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Engelman, if for those of you who don't know, is one of our OG master liverers, pumping out some crazy liveries over the seasons, like just unbelievable stuff. So credit to him, not only a magician in the Maserati, but also when it comes to the liveries. So good job. Looking forward every season to what you have to offer there.
I'm excited to watch the stream back. Thanks for doing it tonight.
No problem. Well, we're going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a lot of fun watching the races. Hope you did as well. We will be coming back on Sunday for our GT3 race covered by Jason Alvarez, a.k.a. Mex. I think we are at Misano. I believe that's where we're going. let me double check here. So that's Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And we will be at Misano for an endurance race. So that's going to be 90 minutes at Misano. Track cut galore. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us. And if I hadn't mentioned it enough, if there's anybody interested in joining us for to take over the stream, I enjoy doing this, but just feel bad about leaving my teammates in the ETK team, Riley Manier and Jarek Snyder. As one of their teammates, and kind of feel bad not being able to complete the group and compete with them. So if there's anybody interested in taking over the stream, there's no experience necessary. I'll be happy to help kind of coach and guide you and set you up, and would love to have someone take over here and join our awesome Trackalicious community. Yeah. And then finally, let's try to find someone to raid. Hopefully we can find some ACC friends online. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, hello.
Alrighty. Well, we did find someone to raid. Let's do that. And before we do so, thank you all so much for joining us. Appreciate you sticking around. Hope you enjoy the stream. Join us again join us tomorrow night for a track walk with Coach Cardo from Cardo Racing School. We'll be going over Misano and trying to find some of the secrets in what makes one go fast at Misano, and then on Sunday for the race at 8:30 Eastern. Hope you all enjoy the stream, and hope you have a great night. Take care. This is Goodbye. Eric Ocasian saying goodbye from Trackalicious. Bye, everyone.